Hey guys, Ed here, bringing you part 10 of What If Deku into the Dragon Ball universe. I know this part was supposed to come out last week, but you guys insisted on having this series for the month of May, so that's what I'll be doing. And like I mentioned in the post, if we reach 2,000 subscribers, I'll be dropping the first part of the Super Soldier Serum, regardless of it being in May. That said, let's get into it. Last time on What If Deku went to the Dragon Ball universe. After the time of peace after defeating Frieza, and the events of Namek happening, everyone gathered as per usual only to find Frieza's ship looming over them. As they got closer, they could sense something was happening. In only a matter of minutes, everything was dealt with. And the only thing that remained was the empty spaceship and a girl with a red outfit. That went from spiky blonde hair to blue and silky hair, shocking everyone there. Who is this mysterious girl? Well, let's find out. The girl flew up to the group. The girl would say, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Vegeta would say, "Who in the hell are you? And how did you defeat Frieza that easily?" The girl would say, "Simple. He was weak compared to me, a Saiyan elite. And on how I did so is by simply turning into a Super Saiyan." Vegeta would say, "Oh great! Now legendary warrior of a nearly extinct race has become a bargain sale. How could you be a Saiyan if Kakarot, Nappa, myself, and Gohan are the only remaining Saiyans left?" Nappa would say, Vegeta, you forgot about your brother Tarble." Vegeta would say, "Nappa, we don't talk about Tarble." Nappa would say, "What about that Paragus guy and his brat that King Vegeta banished decades ago?" Vegeta would say, "They're probably dead in a ditch or a corpse in space somewhere." Girl would say, "Wow, Mom surely told me that you were dense at times, but I couldn't believe this much." Vegeta would say, "What are you talking about?" The girl, looking at her watch, she would say, "Oh wait, in about 3, 2, 1. A phone rings and everybody looked around, looking where the ringing's coming from. Only to see Izuku picking up the phone and answering. Izuku would say, "Oh, it's Bulma. Hello? Are you okay?" "Sure, I'll tell him that. Bye." Vegeta would say, "So, what's going on? I could hear her screaming." Izuku would say, "Yeah, Bulma wants you to see her in the hospital in West City now." Vegeta would say, But why?" Izuku would say, "Just go. This girl isn't a threat, so we'll handle it from here. And once you're done, feel free to come back here." Vegeta clicked his tongue and left, while the girl looked at Izuku. The girl would say, "So, you're the famous Izuku that Mom and Gohan won't stop talking about. Okay, you're cute, but not as cute as Gohan is." Gohan would say, "Wait, what?" The girl would say, "Yeah, of course you're cute. Isn't that right, little Gohan?" Izuku would say, "Could you tell us who you are?" The girl would say, I mean, I'm about to be born anyways." Everybody raised an eyebrow at that comment. The girl would say, "Well, my name is Bula, and I'm Bulma and Vegeta's firstborn daughter." Everyone's jaw just hit the floor in shock. Krillin would say, "I mean, she does look like Bulma a little bit." Kirishima would say, "Yeah, definitely the hair." Tien would say, "I thought I was looking at a copy of a female version of Vegeta for a moment, considering that whole Saiyan elite thing." Neji would say, "That's mean, Tien-chan. I think she has Bulma's eyes." Izuku would say, "But the question is, how is it possible?" Bula would say, I came here from the future. But I'm also waiting for Goku, so I'll wait until he arrives. Izuku would say, you're saying that Goku is returning today? Bula would say, no, I'm telling you he'll be here in a few hours. The gang, as in the original, they went to the spot and wait for Goku's arrival. After about 30 minutes, Vegeta joined as well. Vegeta would say, well, I guess there's another Saiyan around here. Piccolo would say, yeah, we know. You're a father now. Vegeta would say, how did you guys know? Piccolo would say, your daughter told us. Vegeta would say, that's impossible! She was just born! Bula, clearing her throat, she would say, that would be me, Dad. That's when Vegeta EXE stopped working for a while, because he needed to process the whole thing. Then Goku arrived, and everything started to line up as in the anime. As the news of the androids' impending arrival, and the news of the heart virus shocking everyone there. Bula would say, well, I would like to stay and chat, Goku, but could I ask you a favor? Goku would say, sure, what's up? Bula would say, do you have any of those senzu beans with you? Goku would say, nope, but I could go grab some really quick. Goku, after using instant transmission for the first time, he would say, there you go. Bula would say, thank you, and could I ask you one more thing? Goku would say, sure, what is it? Bula would say, may I have your blessing to marry Gohan? Everybody was shocked while Goku was confused. Gohan would say, do I have a say in this? Bula would say, oh, not you, silly. Future you. Gohan would say, I think I need an adult? Goku would say, if it's in the future, sure, why not? Gohan would say, Dad, she was just born! Today! Goku would say, silly Gohan, she came from the future, so it just means that future you will deal with her, not you. Gohan would say, my head hurts. Izuku patting Gohan on the head. He would say, I know how you feel. Bull would say, well, with that said, I'll be going back to the future. See you in about a few years. Bula got into the time machine and returning to her timeline. While they prepared to go and train, King Kai contacts Izuku. King Kai would say, hey Izuku, I have good news for you. Izuku would say, what is it, King Kai? King Kai would say, well, you remember the person looking for the universe restoring Dragon Balls? Izuku would say, yeah, of course I remember. King Kai would say, well, the person only needs just one more Dragon Ball and you'll be back into your own universe. Izuku, speaking out loud, he would say, that's wonderful news! Everybody turned to look at Izuku in confusion. Izuku, talking to the Z Fighters, he would say, sorry, I'm telepathically talking with King Kai. Don't mind me. Everybody looked away from Izuku and back to their own conversation. King Kai would say, well, that's what he told me, and considering that you guys took down Frieza, for some odd reason, he would want you to make the wish when the time comes. Izuku would say, but I don't even know him. How would I tell him my wish? King Kai would say, well, you can speak telepathically through me. And if you are wondering, I'm sure Goku's new technique can take you to me. And from what he told me, it'll take about 6 months to a year to gather the last Dragon Ball. So have fun and make sure you tell your goodbyes. Izuku would say, alright, thanks King Kai. I'll see you then. After ending the conversation, Izuku asked the Z Fighters on their plan for the android attack. Goku would say, well, we decided to train on our own and meet up at the time and place Vegeta's daughter told us about. So what are you gonna do? Izuku would say, well, I'll help however I can. Goku would say, great. Now let's go home and eat, I'm starving. After that, the Z Fighters split up and went to train. Once arrived at Goku's house, it ends up pretty much as normal. While Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Izuku, Neji, Shinobu, and Kirishima are training, during a small break, Goku speaks up. So, Zuku, what kind of good news did King Kai tell you? Izuku would say, well, the person looking for those Dragon Balls is currently searching for one more, and it'll be roughly a year for him to find it. Which means Goku would say, wait, you aren't going to fight the androids with us? Izuku would say, yes, precisely that. And since we took down Frieza, he mentioned that I should make the wish, so I'll be going around to spend some time with others too. Goku would say, Zuko, I'm happy for you. But until then, let's have fun. The group returned to train as per normal. As time went on in age 765, a year after the encounter with the time traveler, as training for the fight with the androids went on, Whis got in contact with King Kai, which then he contacted Izuku. Both Izuku and Goku go to King Kai's planet. Izuku placed a hand on King Kai's shoulder, and the voice spoke to him. Whis would say, well, hello, you must be Izuku, am I right? Izuku would say, yes sir, King Kai told me that you found the last Dragon Ball? Whis would say, that's true, but I haven't summoned the dragon yet. I know you must bid adieu to your friends, so I wanted to inform you that I have the Dragon Balls with me. And once you say your goodbyes, report to King Kai's planet. Izuku would say, could you give me 48 hours, because I still don't have a good wish yet? Whis would say, very well, I'll be seeing you in 48 hours. Well, have a great day. After returning to Earth, Goku and Izuku told Neji and Kirishima Shinobu about the time they have left. So the four visited old friends like Eider and Suno, where Neji and Shinobu spent a bit more time with. Izuku and Kirishima went to Kame's lookout to bid Mr. Popo and Kame farewell. Then they went down to Korin's tower, and Izuku asked on how to plant senzu beans. And while he was there, he went to the three urns, looked inside the one in the middle, and saw his mother still at the Bakugos as they were having dinner, and he delivered the news to his mother. After that, he bid farewell to Yajirobe and the Korin. Izuku went further down at the base of the tower to bid farewell to Appa and Bora. Kirishima wanted to visit some people that helped him a lot during the years prior to the 23rd martial arts tournament. Neji and Shinobu met Izuku at Baba's palace to bid her farewell. And then Neji and Shinobu went to Kame's lookout and did the same. Izuku went to Capsule Corp to tell Bulma and Vegeta and Nappa about the news. Bulma would say, Izuku, I'm happy for you. You're finally going to get your wish. Izuku would say, yeah, when I told my mom, she was very happy, and Kachan too. He was happy, although he pretends that he didn't care. Bulma would say, well, why don't I start working on some stuff for you to take along to your world, so that you can settle financially, because I'm guessing that your world's similar to ours, but you said that other than planes and helicopters, you don't have flying vehicles. Izuku would say, Bulma, there's no need for flying vehicles, but if it isn't too much, what about the capsule technology? That could help. And I do need another house with 2 bedrooms because I would like to get one for my mom. Bulma would say, don't worry, that won't take long. Vegeta would say, while you're at it, take a gravity chamber with you, and keep up with your training. Izuku would say, will do. And who knows, next time we could spar. Vegeta smirked as he would say, I'd like that. Nappa would say, Izuku, it won't be long until you leave, and I haven't repaid my debt. Izuku would say, Nappa, you don't owe me anything. Nappa would say, but you saved my life. And I told myself that I would make sure to be by your side until the end. Izuku would say, Nappa, like I said, it's okay. Nappa would say, no, it's not okay. Therefore, allow me to come with you to your world, and let me be by your side, just like I've done for Vegeta during the years. Izuku would say, Nappa, that's not necessary. People in my world could be threatened by Yamcha. I would say, wait, is he the small guy, or is he the 3-eyed guy? Vegeta would say, no, Nappa, He's referring to the tag-along. Nappa would say, ah, you mean the guy that got blown up by the Cyberman? Vegeta laughing, he would say, ah, ha, ha, yes, Nappa, that guy, Nappa would say, if your world could be threatened by that guy, it means that you'll be untouchable. So that would mean you'll be the ruler of that world, right? Vegeta would say, that's great. You'll become ruling of your own planet. Now, but you should go and serve him, since he's going to become the ruler. I got something to do in the meantime. Izuku would say, I guess? Nappa, if you really want to come, I will allow it, but you do as I say, am I clear? I don't want you to accidentally kill someone. Nappa would say, that's great! Bulma would say, alright Izuku, come by here by tomorrow, and everything will be ready. Izuku would say, alright, I will. Afterwards, Izuku went to Kame house to check on Roshi, Yamcha, and Krillin, and he told them the news. Yamcha would say, well, I'm happy for you, Izuku. You finally got your wish. Izuku would say, yeah, I guess I did. Well, it just means that once back in my world, I have to make a difference. Krillin, tearing up, he would say, I just can't believe you'll be leaving us. I'll miss you, buddy. Izuku would say, yeah, me too. Roshi would say, well, Izuku, the time has finally come. Now I want you to find students of your own and teach them the turtle way of martial arts, the Kame style, and teach them the lessons that you've learned the same way I've taught you. Izuku would say, yes, Master Roshi. After about a minute, Izuku hugged Roshi and Krillin as they started to have emotional hour. As the final day arrived, Izuku went to Bulma to get what Izuku needed, and they too had emotional hour. Afterwards, Izuku returned to Goku's house and said his farewells to the Ox King, Chi-Chi, and Gohan, and Piccolo. Then he went to his house to make sure that he encapsulated their house with Izuku's Nimbus inside. Then it came to the moment that Goku teleported Izuku to King Kai's planet. And getting in contact with Whis, Izuku would say, sir, I wish for everyone to return to their respective universes, and I would like to bring Nappa with me. Whis would say, oh yes, it shouldn't be a problem. Will that be your wish? Izuku would say, yes. Whis would say, very well. I'll be seeing you when our path will cross again. Have a safe trip. Izuku said his farewell to King Kai, and then when it came to Goku, Goku would say, well, Zuko, I guess you'll be leaving soon. Izuku would say, yeah, get strong, Goku, so we can fight again. Goku would say, wait, we never found out who was stronger. Izuku would say, it's obviously you, but keep getting stronger. Take your medicine, and one day we'll meet again. And then we'll have a lot of stories to tell each other. Goku tearing up, he would say, yep, you too get stronger, okay? Izuku and Goku embraced for a hug while they were crying, but Izuku slowly vanished, and a moment later Izuku was gone. Meanwhile, somewhere else on Earth, Vegeta got out the Dragon Balls, and Shenron appeared. Vegeta would say, grant my wish, dragon! Shenron would say, your wish has been granted. The Dragon Ball scattered, and Vegeta smiled as he looked up into the sky, satisfied with his wish. After Izuku left the Dragon Ball universe, everything in the Dragon Ball world will still play out as in the original, so there is no need to go deeper into it. We time skip over to Izuku appearing inside the Bakugo residence with Nappa, shocking everyone there. What happened to our hero? What did Vegeta wish for? Well, find out in the next part of My Hero Ball Z, to be continued. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more. Turn on the bell notification to be updated so you never miss a video. That said, peace out.